late, great John Madden would always say there are some things that just go together. And today, the NFL honors the legendary Madden with the perfect Turkey Day tradition of family, food, and football. AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, plays host to an 11th Thanksgiving Day meeting between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Washington Commanders.
Alrighty, JB, there's Dak Prescott, one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league. He leads the second highest scoring offense in the NFL. He's 17-2 at home versus the NFC East.
And there's Sam Howell. In his first career game against Dallas last season, he won 26-6. He's looking to eat and repeat that outcome.
There's Micah Parsons. He has 10 sacks, and he's looking for a Thanksgiving feast as he faces the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, that being Sam Howell.
There's Jonathan Allen, defensive lineman of the Washington Commanders. Washington had 9 sacks last week against the New York Giants. Can they find a way to get to Dak Prescott today?
And happy Thanksgiving, folks, and welcome to the NFL Today, powered by Ram Trucks. I'm James Brown, and I'm also thankful to be back here inside of Studio 43 with my colleagues. They'll be upset because it's a one-liner intro today. Boomer Esiason, Nate Burleson, Bill Cowher, and Phil Simms. Drew Kaliski says, move it along quickly. And, fellas, nothing says Thanksgiving like the Commanders against the Cowboys.
You know, JB, happy Thanksgiving to you and to everybody out there. You know, Dak Prescott, one of the most criticized quarterbacks in the league. He is playing great right now, 4-1 in his last 5. You know, he's playing in the shadows of the great Roger Staubach, the great Troy Aikman, and he finally has his own Drew Pearson, and that is CeeDee Lamb. That's Michael Irvin to Troy Aikman right there, fellas. His last 4 games, he has been on fire, over 100 yards. He's the 3rd leading receiver in the NFL. I expect an explosive offensive performance today.
And this Dallas defense has been outstanding. You think about them in the last 5 games and not giving up over 300 yards, and it's led by that guy right there, Micah Parsons, in the last 4 games. 6 sacks and 12 quarterback hits. And on the back end, this guy called Deron Bland. He leads the league in interceptions. He's got 6. 4 of those were pick 6 for touchdowns. 12 passes defended. Right now, Dan Quinn has his team howling.
You know, a couple other guys that are playing really well for the Dallas Cowboys. Tyron Smith, the left tackle, really playing well. 13 years in the NFL protecting Dak Prescott. Stephon Gilmore, they traded for him in the offseason. Oh, my gosh, how happy are they about that? Trayvon Diggs got hurt. He has filled in really well. And how about this, my first ever? Talking about a kicker, Brandon Aubrey, 21 for 21 for the Cowboys, 4 for 4, plus 50.
Yeah, Sam Howell, listen, it's been an up and down season. He gets sacked a lot. We've already talked about that. But he came into today leading the NFL in pass yards. He's looking for Terry McLaurin most of the time. Now, he's not having the season that he wants as a wide receiver. That's because his quarterback is getting hit all of the time. But here's the thing. Today, you got to go through your progressions quickly. Get rid of the ball. It's okay to be checked down, Charlie, because that rush is coming. Brian Robinson catches the ball out of the backfield, already has 3 receiving touchdowns this year, so he's going to have to move the ball around, not just look at Scary Terry.
Fellas, good to have Phil back, and he sounds good.
Yes,
no question.
He sounds robust, Jake.
Well, you know what? I didn't talk for 3 days. 3 happy days for my wife. So
you sound better than you.
And for the latest on Dak Prescott and his future in Dallas, we welcome in the man with his eye on the league and the ear to the streets. That will be our NFL Today insider, Jonathan Jones.
JB, Dak Prescott is firmly in the MVP conversation this season, and with only a year left on his contract, that means an extension is coming. Now, sources tell me conversations have not taken place this season between Prescott and the Cowboys, but expect that to pick up this offseason. Prescott has a no-tag clause, and that gives him a ton of leverage since Dallas will not want him to hit free agency. His cap hit is an impossible $60 million, and the team has to pay Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb next year as well. Prescott could absolutely challenge Joe Burrow as the league's highest-paid player. Nate, pass the stuffing.
That's right, pass the stuffing. All right, it is the Commanders, Cowboys. It's almost time to eat with a side of Tony Pollard greens. Go ahead and fill up your plate. Football is coming your way.
The NFL Today on CBS is powered by Ram Trucks, America's best light-duty pickup for new vehicle quality.
Hey, we have a great turkey for the bus. We're going to whack that thing apart when this game's over. In fact, I was thinking, what we ought to do is just cut the drumstick off, the big old drumstick, and give it to, like, the player of the game.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
The pressure sack by Reggie White.
Just cut the drumstick off. We'll give it to Reggie White.
I'm going to
Not bad, guys. Not bad. To John Madden, yes.
No doubt about it.
For you.
No doubt about
And
it.
I would just say, this is the coin right here. The profile of John Madden is heads. The turducken is tails. And thank you for the memories, Jerome Bettis.
You're right. Head tails.
Head tails.
Head tails.
That's it.
You know what? Nate's the only one that's eating because he's been fasting for 7 days.
So hungry,
He
JB.
picked it. Anyway, folks, in time now for a pregame HQ delivered by Domino's.
It don't matter where they hold, off field the rope. They come to one touch. What a start by Dak Prescott. Best of his career.
Prescott throw into the end zone, touchdown. Prescott, take it off, touchdown.
Dak Prescott is on fire.
What a strike from Dak. What a play by Prescott. Dak right now is hot.
And since that ugly Week 5 loss to the Niners, Dak Prescott has been en fuego, folks. Over his last 5 games, he's thrown for over, check this out, Boomer, 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns, Phil, while completing nearly 71% of his passes.
Yeah, a lot of Dak Prescott today. We're talking about him. You know what? He's throwing the football as well as I've ever seen him throw it. He's throwing with power and accuracy. He's been mobile, nimble when he's throwing on the run. And I'll just say this. When you're a quarterback throwing the football well, you see it, you believe it, you complete it, and that's Dak right
And
now.
Mike McCarthy has taken over the play calling in this offense. And the one thing that I've seen right now with Dak is his decision-making. You don't see the interceptions. They're down. He may be taking sacks, but you see the consistency with which he's doing it. He's processing things pretty quickly. A lot of that as a result of this offense and how comfortable he is with Mike McCarthy.
And there lies the maturity. He's had that discernment when he's out there on the field deciding where he needs to go with the ball. Of course, you're going to force the ball to CeeDee Lamb. That's your guy. But the X factor on this squad, a great pickup by them, Brandon Cooks. I mean, my man has been cooking all game long. That's the guy you have to watch out for today.
You know, I said it earlier, he lives in the shadow of Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman. Let's face it. So he's great during the regular season. He's got to win in the postseason, and that's where everybody's going to judge him, unfortunately. I think all of us look at him. He is right smack dab in the middle of the MVP conversation right now as we speak.
And Boomer, later tonight, we have a huge NFC West battle as Geno Smith and the second-place Seahawks face Brock Purdy. Nate says he went to his happy place with top dog status in the division on the line. I know all of you guys are picking the Niners to take this one.
Yeah, we are, you know, and I'm going to tell you right now, Brock Purdy has started 15 games in his NFL career. He's got a rating of 116.3, I believe. That's the highest in NFL history for that amount of games to start your career. He is off the chart, 70% completion. He's like a mini Joe Montana. That's what I think.
And let's start mentioning him in the MVP conversation because my man is playing well. When he has his big four at his disposal, we're talking McCaffrey, Samuel, Kittle, and Ayuk. He's completing 75% of his passes. He has 9 TDs, 0 interceptions when all those guys are on the field, and he is at the center of it. Let's start showing him some more appreciation.
There's no question about it. And I think you look on the other side, the one thing they did at the trade deadline, they picked up Chase Young from the Washington Commanders. And Chase Young has got that defense humming. They got 9 sacks in these last 2 games, and Nick Bosa has got 3 of them, so he's reunited with his college teammate.
Yeah, Geno Smith's going, yeah, that's just what the 49ers needed, more pass rushers. But, you know, Geno Smith hasn't been as sharp this year as he was last year, not throwing the ball as clean down the field, all those big plays. But I will say this about him. He has led 2 drives at the end of the game to win for him.
Yep.
One of the reasons why they're 6-4.
All right, he Phil Brian Robinson Jr. He is suiting up to play the Cowboys for the very first time today. The Commander's second year back is a threat as a runner and a receiver, so look for 8 to be involved early and often.
Hey, NFL fans, this season and every season, Crown Royal is supporting the military community by sending care packages to active U.S. military overseas with the Purple Bag Project. With over 40 Purple Bag packing stations scheduled at NFL stadiums throughout the season, Crown Royal will give fans the opportunity to help pack more Purple Bags this year than ever before. Visit kickoffwithcrown.com to see how Crown is living generously all season long.
Commanders receiver Curtis Samuel is proud to call Brooklyn his home. He's even more passionate about his alma mater, Erasmus Hall High School, whose football team has been a source of pride to the community. Coining the phrase Dutchman for life, the program supports its players and alumni through honoring their impact on the program.
I'm glad that I've made it this far and I've been able to stay in this league for so long and be where I'm from. I'm glad to have this honor and ability to put Brooklyn on a map.
Located in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn, Erasmus Hall is the second oldest continuous high school in the nation and draws students by city bus and subway from all over New York. The football program is led by Coach Danny Lamberg, a Brooklyn native who revived the team in 2001.
There was no varsity, there was no team, there was no JV. They said you could find kids throughout the building, and within the first month we found 76 kids, and we just became a passion, drevved up a lot of excitement throughout the building, and put a lot of work into it, and it just became the Erasmus football team.
Lamberg built the team into a powerhouse, winning 5 city titles over the years. But the first title in 2012 was born from tragedy when Hurricane Sandy threatened their season. Curtis Samuel was a star on that team.
New York City has been brought to its knees.
The storm literally has crippled the tri-state area.
I lost my home that night. I did think I was going to die that day. I was saved by a Humvee from the U.S. Army.
Anything that happened to a family member, you kind of feel it too, and that's the atmosphere that we created. So the fact that he went through that, it felt like it happened to us.
We were supposed to play Tottenville that weekend. I jumped off the Humvee. I ran back in the house to get my notes. I still had a game to worry about.
It was one of those things that's just like, since you here, Coach, we're going to give you everything we got because we appreciate you for being here today when you don't really have to be going through your situation.
Inspired by their coach and his resolve, that 2012 team went undefeated, capturing Coach Lamberg's first ever championship and in the process, setting the standard for future generations of Dutchmen.
The 2012 team they were special kids in character that we raised through, that understood about fortitude, fighting adversity, staying focused, never giving up, showing love to their teammates. It became a brotherhood with those young men.
I felt like what we started there is literally driving them still to this day. We set a standard, and these kids, they firmly believe that they're better than everybody else, and that's where it starts.
The 2012 team was Coach Lamberg's best team, he says all the time, so we try to be better than that team.
This is your last home game regular season, seniors. It's been a long ride. Savior of the moment. Don't leave anything behind on the field today. Pow pow time. We ready to go? E-Hall! Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
On Saturday, Erasmus Hall competes in the semifinal towards a 5th consecutive city title, which will be a first in league history. Their success has created opportunities the team might otherwise never have had. In October, they were invited to London to scrimmage a team of international players from the NFL Academy.
When I found out we was going to London, I thought they were lying. And then I ended up seeing it the very next day on Twitter. I was like, we're going to where?
Yeah, it's really an experience to go through with your team. Like, things like that really just make you better. Just make you better players, better teammates, better people.
Someone once taught me you have 4 years to get it right for the player. So we as coaches have to give them our best throughout that 4-year time to make sure that we're helping them grow as students, as football players, as men.
Dutchman for Life is more than a saying. It's friendship, it's mentorship, and giving back.
All these guys that I've known for 50 years, I met them in 1971 in JV.
The class of 1976, that's 79. It's truly an honor to see what they're doing, following in the footsteps of Curtis Samuel, who was an academic All-American and a football All-American.
The main goal was to, play football and to just win a championship. We had a lot of fun, a lot of great memories. I wouldn't trade it for nothing, honestly. DFL, the Dutchman for Life. I wear that on my sleeve everywhere I go. I tell people I'm from Brooklyn. I went to E-Hall. It's nothing greater, nothing better.
Erasmus Hall has helped football players achieve their dreams of playing in the NFL for 80 years, beginning with Hall of Famer and Chicago Bears great Sid Luckman, and even ascending to ownership through Oakland Raiders legend Al Davis. Curtis Samuel leads the latest editions of E-Hall standouts who have joined the pros with Christian Izzian, safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Sean Ryan, receiver for the Baltimore Ravens, following in his footsteps.
He
The NFL Today is sponsored by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Walmart. Welcome to your Walmart. And by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
And earlier today, it was the Packers and the Lions.
It was not good for the Lions. How about Rashawn Gary? Strip sack of Jared Goff. This is going to be scooped up by Jonathan Owens, otherwise known as Mr. Simone Biles. That's who he is married to, by the way. This is a perfect 10, according to her on social media. 27-yard touchdown pass. They go on to win 29-22. How about Jordan Love? 22 of 32, 268, and 3 touchdowns.
Hey, watch the Commanders. You're on the road. The emotion of the crowd. The Cowboys are going to be flying around. Taking advantage of that emotion with a little trick play, something that slows them down. I think they can do that.
And we're running the ball with Brian Robinson and using the check down, as you talked about earlier, because that pass rush can get to him. And on Dallas' side, Jake Ferguson, a tight end, look for him today because he's been the second leading receiver behind CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, my final thoughts is take a nap in between meals and drink water in between your drinks.
Let's go eat. That's what I'm talking about, folks.
Yes. Folks, we are inching closer to kickoff, and I know the guys are all picking Dallas win, but final thoughts, we got that out of the way. So what we can say now, hey, folks, we'll see you back here at halftime, but Nate's up next with...
We'll get you out to the Commanders and Cowboys next.